Hello everybody, welcome to the Season 4 premiere of Stadium Spotlight. This is a show where we look at different unique stadiums in the show 24, and today, just like every year, we're going to start off with one of my own stadiums here in the show 24. And this year, you're able to transfer stadiums from 23 to MLB The Show 24, and this is where this stadium came from. This was the first stadium I built for MLB The Show 23, and I'm going to show it off here in MLB The Show 24. I'll have a tutorial out soon how to transfer stadiums from 23 to 24. All the stadium information for this stadium will be in the description. As always, you can check it out for yourself. If you enjoyed the series and want more, please consider liking and subscribing. If you have your own stadium you want me to look at, make sure to put your online ID and the name of the stadium in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check it out. And with that, let's get on with the tour. So this stadium seats 25,000 people. Down the left field line, it is 300. To dead center field, it is 403, with 404 being the furthest distance in left center field. And then down the right field line, it is 300. Behind home plate, nothing too special. We got 2 decks of seats and some owner suites on each side of home plate. And we got some lighting right above it on each side of home plate. In right field, the second deck continues and gets cut off right here where the bullpens are. To the back of the section, there's a building, and it connects to this one right here. This is where the team offices are and everything like that. Going towards center field, we have 2 bullpens off the field. I'm so sad they didn't give us the ability to remove the bullpens from the field off the field, but I went ahead and added my own because I love when people add them. You got some seats surrounding the bullpens as well, and right above it, we have a second deck concourse level. On the facade of it, we have a jumbotron and an out-of-town scoreboard. And on top of the building, connecting to this one down right field line, we got a glove, and we got the top of these bars and some lighting. To right center field, we have a 2-story bar, and right next to it, we got the Hall of Fame Memorial. To center field, we have the Petco Parks Batter's Eye, and right above it, we have some jumbotrons on the facade of the second deck. And the second deck continues all the way into left field. We got a bar right here, right in the middle of it. And on top of this building, we have the train from Minute Maid Park. So every time you hit a home run, you see it going across center field. As mentioned earlier, the second deck concourse continues here into left field. Right below it, we have another concourse level with some concession stands and some restrooms. And on the facade of the second deck, we do have some more scoreboards. On the second deck, we also have a home run pump and a snack stand, and a huge jumbotron on the side of the warehouse. You can barely see it, but right here poking out right above the snack shack, it is a warehouse, the one from Camden Yards. And we have an apartment building where the fans can stand and watch the game from, kind of like the ones you see outside the stadium at Wrigley Field. And into left field, the second deck yet again continues, but this time instead of the team offices, it's just 3 stories of hotels. I love the hotels at Rogers Center, and I wanted to add a little bit something like that to my own stadium, so I went ahead and put it right above the stands in left field. To center field, we do have a skyscraper. This is where hotels and apartments are. I wanted to add to the scenery, and I thought this was perfect for it. And talking about scenery, in the distance, we do have a mountain range, adding snow to the background of stadiums. So I added a mountain range to the outside of the stadium to add to the scenery. I just love scenery to baseball stadiums, just adds to the immersion. I love it. And outside the stadium, nothing too special, only that this stadium was built right next to a giant lake. It's definitely not the most realistic environment you'll see at a stadium, but when you're playing, you don't see this. Y'all judge for yourself. Y'all download the stadium and play it yourself and tell me what y'all think. This is what it looks like from above home plate. This is what it looks like from above center field. And here's a bird's eye view. And that's pretty much it for the stadium, so let's go ahead and hop over to Home Run Derby and try to hit some nukes on this stadium. So here we are at AstroWorld Park playing a Home Run Derby, and I don't know if y'all play the Home Run Derby yet, or any MLB The Show at all this year, but they were talking about a power creep this year, and my goodness, do I notice it. 480, first home run by Babe Ruth. Let's try to hit one 600 feet. I'm pretty sure I can hit one 600 feet. 494. It's been a long time since I've played at this stadium. I know it was my first one last year in 23, and I'm really looking forward to 501, first one to 500 feet. But I'm really looking forward to building my next one. I'm gonna have a live stream up at some point. I don't know if y'all watched the AI to MLB The Show video. I'm so sorry I didn't complete that, but I was able to transfer that stadium over to 24, and I really want to do a live stream building that stadium, especially with Monday being the launch day. So I always like to build my own stadium just to start the season off, and it gives me experience in Stadium Creator. I don't build stadiums that often, but I think the first stadium I always wanted to be my first for Stadium Spotlight, And this is the first time it's not a brand new stadium by me. First round, 9 home runs, 505, 118, 119 average exit velo. That's insane. But always like the first stadium to be an original one. And then from there on out, always love looking at y'all's submitted stadiums. I think, so last year I wasn't able to get to a couple stadiums. So I think what I'm going to do, the first few stadiums, I'm going to go and try to find in the vault and do videos on. Because I really felt bad for not being able to make videos. I just was super busy with school, work, personal life. So I just had no time. And MLB The Show really isn't that, well, it's not popular, but usually I keep playing throughout the off season, but I just didn't have any motivation to play it, so that's why I didn't make videos as long as I did last year. But because I was busy playing a lot of other games, a lot of other games I wanted to play, like Fortnite and Call of Duty and stuff like that. But I'm hoping this year I make longer videos, or videos longer. I don't want to make longer videos just to, I like to make them as short as possible. But that's going to end it. Hank Aaron not able to get enough home runs, and Babe Ruth is the first home run derby champion for Stadium Spotlight. And that's going to wrap it up for the video today. Thank you guys so much for watching. First episode of Season 4. I'm so excited for this year. Can't wait to see all y'all's creative stadiums. Make sure to comment below your online ID and the name of the stadium so I can check it out and we can start making these videos. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace.
Hammer to right. That one has the distance. It's gone. A towering blast. Did it? 0-2. Here's the pitch. This one hammered deep to right, and it is gone. Home run. Circling the bases. Did it again. Home run number 2 of the game. It's 4-1. It's never a bad thing adding some insurance runs, and that home run helped them do just that. But with 2 homers and 2 singles as well. This ball is crushed deep to left. This one's gonna go.
Hello everybody, welcome to episode 2 of Stadium Spotlight. This is a show where we look at different unique stadiums in the show 24, and today we're at Cyclone Field here in Honolulu, Hawaii, and this stadium was created by Fiservv. All this stadium information will be in the description as always, so you can check it out for yourself. If you enjoyed the series and you want more, please consider liking, subscribing. If you have your own stadium you want me to look at, make sure to put your online ID and the name of the stadium in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check it out. And with that, let's get on with the tour. So this stadium seats 27,000 people. Down the left field line is 340. To dead center field is 415, which is the furthest distance in the stadium. And then down the right field line it is 292. As you can see behind home plate, we have 2 decks of seats. These 2 decks wrap all the way from the left field foul pole almost to center field and right field. And the second deck continues into this section in right field. Right below it we have the first deck. We've got a 22-foot high wall. And right above it we have some seating and a gate keeping the fans safe from, home runs coming in. And right above it we got a roof protecting these fans from sun or rain. And on the roof of the second deck we do have some lighting. To dead center field we have the 2-tier dark blue batter's eye. We also have a staircase heading up to the second deck and a staircase heading up to the first deck. And behind the batter's eye we have a really cool walkway, almost like a pier, right next to the water. We have some concessions and some bars, and we do have a little hut right next to the staircase. And then behind the batter's eye we have a jumbotron for fans walking behind it so they don't miss anything. To left field, the wall is a little bit higher than the one in center field, but not as tall as the right field wall. And at the top of this wall we do have some red plants. This reminds me of Citizens Bank Park with those bushes in left field. And then behind it the walkway continues. We have a jumbotron in left field right above a concession stand. And over here by the left field foul pole we do have a building. This kind of looks like the team offices. We also have some advertisements and some lighting to light up the water. And we have this really cool club right here. And on the top of this building we do have some concessions and some bars. And outside the scene, this is when it really looks like Hawaii. We have a really cool beach right here. And on the opposite side of the water we do have this mountain. It makes for a really cool backdrop when you're hitting bombs into left field. I think that looks really cool. And we got some sailboats and some boats here in the water. And it's right field, just behind the right field seating, we do have a hotel. Really love the design. I think this is one of the coolest Hawaii stadiums that I've seen. And here's what the outside of the stadium looks like. It kind of reminds me of Ebbets Field. We do have some team stores with the name of the stadium right above it. Also further down here as well. This is what it looks like from above home plate. This is what it looks like from above center field. And here's a bird's eye view. That's pretty much it for the stadium, so I'll meet you all over at the Home Run Derby. So here we are at Cyclone Field, trying to hit some bombs here. Definitely gonna hit some into the water. That one's going in the water. That one is 527, first hit. That might get out of the stadium. Get up there. 502 off the top of this section. Unbelievable. I really love this stadium. The right field seats look really cool. I know he had a different version of the stadium before this one. This is his newer version, but the last one looked really cool. I think he did a really good job on this one. 547, oh my goodness. That might be further. 550, oh my goodness gracious. If you haven't watched the last episode and you want some more stadiums to play in with the show 24, then check the description. I have a playlist of all the stadiums I've gone over so far in the show 24. This is the second one, but I'm hoping to do a lot more super soon. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to get the 10th one off. 557 is the furthest distance. But since all the stadiums transferred over from the show 23 to 24, if you want to, you can go check the entire. Oh my gosh, 561, are you kidding me? Sorry. If you really want to see a bunch of stadiums you can play now in the show 24, go check out season 3 complete season. I have every single stadium that we went over last year and add one video. It's like 2 hours long, but you can just skip along, see what stadium stands out to you. You can just, go play it. And I have all the stadiums in the description, so you don't have to look for it at the beginning of the video. I have them all in the description and timestamped as well, so hopefully finding the stadium that you like doesn't take too long. But I was gonna re-upload it and make it stadiums to use in 24, but I don't know. I want to try to find a way. 581. Oh my gosh, we're so close to 600. I might just go over real quick a bunch of stadiums you can play in a video, but I don't want to just re-upload the exact same video. Oh, we're gonna tie, but let's see how far this one goes. I just power swinged on that one, see if that one goes any further. 559, not the furthest. 581, furthest distance by Herman Killebrew. I'll just say he's the winner. And that's pretty much it for the video today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have your own stadium you want me to look at, make sure to put your all-in ID and the name of the stadium in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check it out. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Hello everybody, welcome to episode 3 of Stadium Spotlight. This is your show where we'll look at different unique stadiums in the show 24. And today we got a different episode. Instead of just reviewing one stadium, I'm going to be reviewing 3. Just to change it up, I don't want to do one stadium at a time anymore. Maybe get more stadiums out at once. But if y'all do enjoy the new format, please consider liking and subscribing. That way it'll tell me that y'all do enjoy, and I'll continue to make them. But the first stadium of today is going to be Chase Canyon Remix 2. This stadium was created by ESPN 6KTA, and it's got to be one of the most unique stadiums in the show 24. And I think there was a glitch in the game, and he was able to turn the grass blue, and it looks so awesome. It looks like a college stadium with different colored turf. I think it looks so cool, and the stadium itself looks awesome. It's right in the middle of a canyon. As you can see, there are 3 decks behind home plate. We have a huge canyon wall in right field where we got some seating right next to it in foul territory. 2 decks in right field with some grass above it and some suites right below it. So center field we have a grass batter's eye. Love the design of that. And we have some brick with a Hit Here Cafe and a Jumbotron right above it. And in left field we have one section of seating right above the fence and right below this wall of grass. I think this looks so cool, and we get some lighting poking out from the grass on both sides, and then we have a canyon wall surrounding the entire outfield. And also down the left field line we have a jumbotron. I think we also have one in right field. Yep, I did not notice that. And right above the fence we do have some flowers. This kind of reminds me of Citizens Bank Park, as it has those plants right above the fencing. I can't tell you how much I love the design of the stadium, and I think the best part about it is that it is a competitive stadium, so you can use it online. And I don't know what other stadiums might have different colored grass, but I think this looks so cool. I'm definitely going to use this a lot. And this is what it looks like from outside the stadium. And this is what the stadium looks like at nighttime. Pretty well lit. I think it looks really cool at nighttime. Next we're at Eagle Square, and this stadium was created by rayratliff. And this looks to be an indoor stadium. Kind of reminds me of a mall because it looks like there's a bunch of shops in center field. Behind home plate we have 3 decks of seats, and that wraps all the way to right field, right where foul territory ends. Right field we have this giant section of seating. This goes all the way up, almost into the 3rd deck. To center field we have a bunch of bars and standing room. Really like standing room in stadium. It just looks different from the wall of seating. We have a lot of jumbotrons. We have one in right center field, and then to dead center field right above the batter's eye. And we have this small section of seating right behind the batter's eye. I guess that's like an exclusive club you can be in. Left field, it seems like the team offices are there. I love buildings inside stadiums. I don't know why. I think it looks really cool. A lot of ribbon scoreboards, and he actually put the distance of what center field and left center field are. And in left field we have one section of seating. Above it we have a jumbotron, and I love the contrast of seating in the stadium. You have a wall of seating in right field, we have standing room and bars in center field, and then we have just one section of seating and a concourse in left field. I love contrast in stadiums, so it's not just a giant wall of seating like the old multi-purpose stadiums in MLB. And this is what the outside of the stadium looks like. Really unique, got a really cool interest into the stadium, and the design on the roof is awesome. And then you're not going to notice when you're playing, but there is a football stadium outside. I think it's insane how this is a prop. It's a full-on football stadium. I love it. And we also have a bridge outside the stadium that you're not going to be able to see, but it just adds detail to the environment of the stadium. For the next stadium, we are at Oasis Islands, and this stadium was created by Murph075. This is the stadium we looked at last year, but with the stadium uploader being transferred over to MLB The Show 24, you're still able to play it in The Show 24. And I just wanted to look over it, just to have a throwback stadium per episode. So behind home plate, we have 4 decks of seats that wraps all the way to right field and gets cut off almost at the foul pole down the left field line. So instead of more seating, there are a bunch of standing room in left field, and I love the design. Just 3 layers of standing room, and it's not just like, you know, a flat ground. He put unique details into each of them, and there are concourse and concessions on these levels as well. So in right field, the 4th deck of seating does wrap into fair territory, and then there's a standing room / suite in right field. I guess the owner just put a mansion in the stadium. I think it looks really cool. But the main thing of the stadium is the outfield, and the outfield has such an amazing design. A bunch of rocks with trees and bushes and water going down it. One of the best scenery in a stadium in The Show 24, without a doubt, one of my favorite. And with the different colored trees that they add, it just adds so much color to the background of the stadium. Beyond the outfield seats in right center field, we do have a jumbotron with "Welcome to the Oasis Islands" right above it. In left field, we do have a party deck, and connected to it, we do have a pier with a bunch of boats beyond it. I guess people can float around in the bay and watch the game. And then beyond it, we have a water park that connects to the pier deep into left field. Beyond the hills, we have a cruise ship, and then you can't really miss it. The biggest scenery piece of this stadium is the volcano out in the distance. And how many stadiums do you look out in the distance and see a giant volcano overlooking the stadium? And this is what the stadium looks like from the outside, surrounded by water. So the only way you get to the stadium is by boat. This is what the stadium looks like at nighttime. And for the final stadium of this video, we are at Commonwealth Grounds, and this stadium was created by Glenfiddich12. And just a reminder, all the sim information for all 3 of these stadiums will be in the description, so you can check it out for yourself. I'm not gatekeeping these stadiums. But right away, I don't know if it was just me, but this stadium reminds me of Ebbets Field in a way. It does have the advertisements in the outfield, and the seating in left field is different. But the tall wall in right field and the street and the buildings across the street, it reminds me of it. And the outside does as well, but I think it looks really cool, maybe a little better than Ebbets Field. Behind home plate, we have 2 decks of seats, and that runs all the way into left field. where there's only the second deck remaining. We have the tall wall in right field. I wish we could use something other than, you know, the actual fencing as the outfield walls. Hopefully they'll add that in a year or two. I honestly doubt it. And if you're thinking of a beer to drink, might as well have a Guinness. Right center field, we have a hit it here sign. Center field, we have the brick batter's eye. Got brick surrounding it. The stadium is got a lot of brick to it. I love the look of brick on stadiums. I think it looks really cool. I think he was trying to make the left field wall like right here in play and then, you know, over it a home run. But I don't think he was allowed to do that. So we added advertisements to the bottom. We have this giant bush in left center field. Just adds green to the outfield wall. Maybe cover up some of that brick. And it kind of looks like ivy that you'll see at Wrigley. I don't know when they're going to add ivy to outfield walls in Stadium Crater. I hope they do it really soon, like maybe next year. And I think another advertisement is the Gillette razors. We got an advertisement down the left field line. This is what it looks like from outside of the stadium. Seems to be in the middle of an industrial area of a city. We have a church and a small baseball field in right center field, right behind the buildings in right. And he went ahead and added a actual block of streeting. I think it looks really cool. I love when people do that. It's built inside a block of a city. And it's hard to see when you're playing the game, but there is a opening here in center field, a concourse level where you can enter into the stadium. We have a giant wall that covers it up, so you won't be able to see it when you're playing. Maybe when you do replays and stuff like that, you'll see it. Just a unique addition to the stadium that I wanted to point out. Hello everybody, welcome to episode 4 of Stadium Spotlight. This is a show where we look at different unique stadiums in the show 24, and today we're going to be looking at 5 different stadiums here in the show 24. All the stadium information will be in the description. As always, you can check out these stadiums for yourself, and if you have your own stadium you want me to look at, make sure to put your online ID and the name of the stadium in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check it out. The first stadium of today is Rappahannock grounds, and this stadium is named after an Indian tribe in Virginia. Really beautiful stadium. It's a brick, old-fashioned stadium. On left field it is 330. To dead center field it's 400, but 420 right center field. And then down the right field line it is 340. Behind home plate we have one large section of seating, but it is kind of divided up into 2 sections. They're just not separated. Right field, we have one large section of seating, takes up almost the entire right field wall. We have 2 light towers overlooking the stadium. We have some advertisements above it as well, and a flag in right field. It's completely surrounded by trees, so it gives a really beautiful backdrop. And I'm sure if there's home runs hit into the trees, those balls will be retrieved easily. We also have a small concourse level connecting the entrances to right field. We have a little section right here. So center field we have the framed bricks batter's eye, and this batter's eye is also surrounded by more trees. Left center field we have an out of town scoreboard. We have an electronic one with scores around the league, small ribbon scoreboard, and we have the manual scoreboard. In left field we have no seating, but we have 2 light towers overlooking the stadium with a chain link fence above the wall. Beyond this fence we have some buildings and some townhouses. I'm sure fans can get on top of the roofs and watch the games from there. But I love the detail he put into this. It looks like an actual little town block, then just randomly put buildings there. And I forgot to mention, but beyond the trees in right field we have some insured houses, because I know there's gonna be a couple home runs smashing windows. And I'm sure these are nice houses to live in if you don't mind the noise. And then outside the stadium we do have some buildings and some parking. With this nice outside concourse level, it's right next to a couple entrances into the stadium. And then the outside of the stadium looks really cool. Again, it reminds me of Ebbets Field. Here's a bird's eye view of the stadium. And here's what it looks like at night. Next we are at Moonshot Mountain 2.3, and this stadium was created by Top Dog 5592634. A lot of numbers. Down the left field line it is 270, really short porch and left. To dead center field it is 385, and then down the right field line it is 270. So you can say without a doubt it is a hitter's paradise. But this might be an edit of the stadium, as it seems that this wall right here used to be the actual home run wall. You can see by the little edges right here. So if you want to, you can look through all the dimensions and see if you can possibly get the fence moved back or just lower the altitude, but I don't know how much that's gonna help. So if you're thinking of using this online, consider those 2 things. Very unique seating behind home plate. We just have a steep section of seating all around home plate. There is some walking room in between these sections, but it's almost just one entire section. Very interesting and unique, I will say that. We have some picnic seating behind home plate as well. Really good seating, I will say. So right field we have 2 decks of seats. The sections around home plate extend to right field, as it's still very steep out there. And then we have a small section down by the field level with Moonshot Mountain on the side of it. To dead center field, we have the garden setting batter's eye, and we have a bunch of stuff surrounding this batter's eye. So right center field, we have some picnic tables and some concession stands and a jumbotron on the side of the wall. To the left of it, again, more picnic seating, and it seems to be like a little club area you can rent out for the games. Above it, we have Tater's Gulag. It is going to be hard to see in game, but we do have a concourse level here on the second deck with some concession stands, and above it we have some suites, and above the roofing we do have two jumbotrons. And in left field, I love the design of the roofing. I got a sloped roof. To left field, we have one section of seating, and above it, we have a huge jumbotron. And above the jumbotron on the roof, we have an out-of-town scoreboard. This looks like the one from Wrigley. I'm sure someone's up there changing it throughout the game. Hope they're not afraid of heights. Outside the stadium, there's not much to look at. It seems to be just a bunch of clock towers making up the walls. And here's a better look at the roof in left field. It kind of looked like solar panels at first. It might be, but it is the top of this futuristic building prop. And outside in left field, making up the wall, instead of a bunch of clock towers, there's going to be a bunch of jumbotrons just flipped backwards. Here's what it looks like from above the stadium. And here's what it looks like at night. Next, we are at Arby's Park, and this stadium was created by KTeacherKid. Down the lift line is 325. To dead center field is 408. And in right field is 330 at the foul pole, but it does jet out a little bit, so the distance will be more like 340. Behind home plate, there are 4 decks of seats. These decks do wrap around all the way to the foul poles, but they do stop in fair territory. And one of my favorite things about the stadium is the glass roofing above home plate. It reminds me of American Family Field, but the inside of these arches is made up of glass, so it lets in a lot of natural light. To right field, we have 2 sections of seats. Not 2 decks because they're basically the same section, just separated by a concourse level in between. Right in the middle of this section, there is a bullpen, and you got a jumbotron right above it. I love when they add outfield bullpens. I wish they would add that as a feature to Stadium Creator instead of, you know, on the field bullpens. It's so annoying. It's been like 3 years. Come on, add it already. But at the top of this section, there is a concourse level, and then it shows the outside of the stadium. That also reminds me of American Family Field. So center field with the Philly Garden batter's eye. Above it, we have a huge jumbotron, and in left field, we have 2 decks of seats, 3 sections of seating. The first deck is basically just like the right field, sectioned off with this concourse in the middle, and then more towards left center field, we have a second deck of seats. This is connected to a home run party deck in left field. If you hit one down the line, you're for sure gonna hit it up there. And then right next to the foul pole, up against the fence, we have another bullpen. Above it, we have a jumbotron. And you might not notice it right away when you're playing at the stadium, but there's like a section of seating that wraps around the entire stadium, and it's just hovering above ground. That looks so cool. Can't imagine you ever hitting one up there. That's gonna be like 600 feet. And one thing you're gonna have to worry about with the stadium, if you're playing during the day, is the sun. From here, it might not be able to see it, but when you're playing, that sun is gonna really hurt how you see the ball. I would caution, if you're gonna end up playing the stadium online, play at like 7 o'clock in August or something. Don't do it during the day because you're gonna have a hard time seeing. And this is what the outside of the stadium looks like. It looks so cool from the outside. We have a unique entrance to the stadium. This is a better look at the arches. And in left field, we do have some buildings that you'll be able to see through the glass walls in left field. And then we have some staircases going up to the entrances of the stadium. Here's a bird's eye view of the stadium. And here's what it looks like at night. For our throwback stadium for this episode, we are at the Masonry. And this stadium was created by Twinnedlnk. I'll leave a link to the original video in the description. Behind home plate, we have 4 or 6 decks of seats. What's unique about the stadium is down the left field line, there's a building just right in the middle of the section, and they just bumped up the seating. Got some concessions in between the second and third deck. The first and second deck extend all the way to right field, pretty much into right center field. It's going to take a long shot to get it into the second deck. On the concourse of the second deck, there is a party section people can stand and watch the game from. There's a warehouse at the back of the section. Through center field, we have the frame slate blue base batter's eye. We have a large concourse level behind the batter's eye with a really cool slide that goes through the building. Don't know if the mascot's going to go through it or not. The bricked warehouse surrounds this entire concourse level, so it just encloses it into the stadium. Left field, just like right field, the first and second deck extend into left center field. There's a concourse level on the second deck with some bars, and then above it on the side of the warehouse we do have a jumbotron. And then the skyline for the stadium is amazing. You might not be able to see this during the game, but there is a section of seating on top of this building here in left center field overlooking the stadium. Not much for the outside of the stadium, but we do have a bridge connected to the stadium. And then this is what the outside of the stadium looks like. Here's a bird's eye view of the stadium. And here's what it looks like at night. And for the final stadium of today, we were at modern Polo grounds. Down the left field line, it is 270, which is actually further than the Polo grounds in the game right now. And then down the right field line, it is 303. And this stadium is somehow a hitter's and pitcher's paradise. I mean, dead center field, you're not going to hit a home run, but if you hit a pop-up to right field, it's going to get out. And so this is a modern Polo grounds. The original only had 2 decks of seats wrapping around the entire stadium. This one actually has 3. So behind home plate, there are 3 decks of seats. Down the right field line, there is a concourse level connecting the section behind home plate and the right field section of seating. And on the left side, there is nothing connecting the 2 sections of seating. In dead center field, we have some more concession stands and some concourse levels people can just stand here and watch the game from. And on each side of the batter's side, 2 decks of seats, and above those we have some jumbotrons. And this is what the outside of the stadium looks like. Here's a bird's eye view of the stadium. And here's what it looks like at night. Hello everybody, welcome to episode 5 of Stadium Spotlight. This is a show where we look at different unique stadiums in the show 24, and today we are looking at 5 different stadiums here in Stadium Creator. If y'all enjoyed the series and you want more, then please consider liking and subscribing. If you have your own stadium you want me to look at, make sure to put your online ID and the name of the stadium in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check it out. The first stadium we're going to be looking at today is Grandview Park. Down the left field line is 375. To dead center field is 400 with 406 in left center field. And then down the right field line is 360. So from the distances of the fences, it is definitely a pitcher's park. No Mickey Mouse home runs in this stadium. Now I gotta say, what a beautiful stadium this is. Behind home plate, we have 4 decks of seats. So we have the main section, we got a suite level, and we got 2 upper decks. We also got lights above the nosebleeds. To right field, we have, I guess, 4 decks of seats as well. The main concourse level kind of pokes into fair territory. I think that's kind of funny. But we have the main section down here, a bunch of wooden seats, and we got some bushes and waterfalls. It looks really cool. Above it, we got the suite level. It continues into right field. And then I don't know if I count this as 1 single deck or 2 separate decks, but we got some more seating in the 3rd deck. And above all the seating, we do have a jumbotron with some out-of-town scoreboards, and in the name of the team, the Utah Talons. And we also got a groundskeeper hole down the right field line. To dead center field, we have the Rangers Hill batter's eye. To the right of it, we got an eagle statue, and above it we have a concourse level. And then looking over the entire field, we have a huge jumbotron with the name Grandview Park. On this concourse level, we have some trees, some bars, and I don't know how he added these people. Can you add people now? Oh, you can! I didn't know that. To left center field, we have some more seating, more waterfalls, kind of a reflection of right field, just a little smaller. Concourse level continues. And into left field, we have 3 decks of seats. We have the main section again, the suite level, and then the 3rd deck. And then down the left field line, right behind the fence, we do have a camera well. And here's what the outside of the stadium looks like. It looks so cool, and the view of the stadium is awesome. And here's what the stadium looks like from the water. We got some escalators going onto the 2nd deck, so this part is separated right here, the 1st and 2nd deck. Here's what the stadium looks like from above, and here's what it looks like at night. For our next stadium, we were at Bay Park. Down the left field line is 330. To dead center field is 415 with 417 in right center field, and then down the right field line is 340. So I would say this is more of a pitcher's park. Behind home plate, we have 3 decks of seats. These wrap all the way around foul territory and a little bit into fair territory down the left field line. So in right field, we got the Rhino deck. We have 2 decks of seating in right field or standing room. And this kind of reminds me of a reverse Crawford boxes that you'll see in Minute Maid. Actually reminds me more of Baltimore now, just because it like jets out and then comes back in near the bullpens. And we got an out-of-town scoreboard on this concourse level. To right center field, we have a batting cage with some patio seats and a pool. And beyond that, we have a church just right next to a baseball stadium. To dead center field, we have the Blackwood Slates batter's eye. And then behind the batter's eye, we have a jumbotron, maybe for people up here on the concourse level able to watch it, because the batter's eye does block the view of the game. But behind the batter's eye, we do have a little lake or a pond for these boats to go around. Maybe they're like home run celebrations. The boats will move around when they hit a home run. Beyond that, we have a concourse level connecting right and left field. To left field, we have 2 decks of seats in fair territory. We have the first and second, but the second just for a little bit. We have this large section that's divided by this water fountain and some bushes. We have 3 layers of standing room, unless this one I don't think you can get access to, but this also connects to the concourse level. We have some more concessions and team stores, and above the concourse level we have a huge jumbotron. And then outside the stadium, it is surrounded by a huge ocean. We have a boating dock to right field. We have a huge cruise ship in right center field, and then overlooking the stadium to dead center field we have a huge arch that's on this sand dune. And you're gonna love this view when you're actually playing at the stadium. Here's what the stadium looks like from above, and here's what it looks like at night. The next stadium we're gonna be looking at is Ozark Mountain. Down the left field line it is 330. To dead center field it is 415 with 417 in left center field. And then down the right field line it is 330 as well. So again, a very deep center field, just like the last stadium. 417 again. You're gonna have to get a hold of them to get them out at center field. Behind home plate we have 3 decks of seats with the main concourse extending all the way to right and left field. To right field, as I mentioned before, the main concourse extends out to right field. And to the back of the section we have a concourse level. To right center field we have some steps leading up to some bushes and then some clubhouses. To dead center field we have the Cardinal Hill Batter's Eye. Behind it we have this interesting addition to the stadium. It's like a circular base to this monument. At the top of it we have a jumbotron, kind of reminds me of the Royal scoreboard. To right of it we have a goat statue, and to the left we get some advertisements. To left center field we get some more steps, this time leading up to a water fountain. To the back of this waterfall we have a scoreboard. Above it we have the show generations field. And into left field the first deck again extends into fair territory. To the back of this we have a home run party deck, and we got some advertisements and light fixtures above it. And then beyond the stadium we have a forest with some hills surrounding the stadium. This is what it looks like from above, and here's what it looks like at night. And for our throwback stadium of the episode, we were at Ethers Park 2.0. And this stadium was created by Gideon Brown. Down the left field line is 320. To dead center field is 400, but it's also 403 and 404 to left center and right center. And just like left field, down the right field line is 320. Not much going on behind the plate. We have 2 decks of seats that wraps around the entire foul territory. And this isn't the impressive part of the stadium, it's the backdrop. Oh my goodness. This has been one of the stadiums that stood out to me these last 3 years of doing the show. I mean, just look at that. It is so cool to look at, and especially when you're playing there, it looks so much better. So right field we got some hotels, and it's right next to this reflection pond. There's also one on the left side as well. We got buildings on each side of the staircases heading up to this giant monument. We got a Hall of Fame memorial with some statues of players, an eagle, and then a tower, I guess. But it just looks so cool, and it's all underneath these arches. And when you're playing at night, this thing looks so cool. And on the left side we got another reflection pool, and next to it we got a building overlooking it with the stadium name above it. And this whole area is surrounded by canyon rocks, as you can see. And into right and left field we have large concourse areas just with a bunch of bars and concessions. And one thing you should know before playing the stadium is I keep trying to save changes, but it keeps giving me this warning that unable to save due to batter's eyes receiving too much light. What? I've never seen this error ever. And so I've been like trying to different batter's eye, it's still saying that. So even if I put a stadium up in the sky and it's blocking the sun, it still gives me the warning. So I don't know if any of y'all go and try to download the stadium and y'all able to successfully save it, then please put in the comments below so other people can know, because that's so weird and really sad because I really like the stadium. Here's what the stadium looks like from above, and here's what it looks like at night. For the final stadium of today, we were at TWR Moonshot Field. Down the left field line it is 300, to dead center field it is 390, and then down the right field line it is 300. So compared to the other stadiums in this video, this stadium is definitely a hitter's ballpark. Behind home plate we have 5 decks of seats. We got the main level, a club level, a suite level, and then 2 decks of nosebleed seating. 52,000 seat capacity for this stadium. So right field, up against a fence, we got some seating. Only 300 feet, so these fans are going to be getting a lot of home runs. Beyond the seating, we got a huge concourse level. We got some bars, some concession stands. On top of this bar, we have some more seating and a jumbotron above it. To right center field, we have what looks like a building. Don't know what this building's for. It could be just office space and stuff like that. And above this concourse level, we have 3 decks of suites. Only 2 closer to the foul pole, but once you get to right center field, they add another suite level. So technically there are 7 different levels of seating in the stadium, just 5 at a time behind home plate. To dead center field, we have the big city tiers batter sign. Not much going on behind it, maybe a couple bars. We have a huge jumbotron right above it, overlooking the stadium. And in left field kind of replicates what's in right field. We got some seating up against the fence down the left field line. Got a Hall of Fame monument, got some trees, some bars, some concessions. It kind of reminds me of American Family Field with that restaurant in left field. And overlooking all that, we have a huge jumbotron. And we got some retired numbers up here above the jumbotron. And in left field, we have a really cool section, no seating except for the main concourse, but it seems to be like a press box kind of area. But we have a bunch of statues on top of it. Right below the roof, we have another suite level. So that's 8 different levels of seating in this stadium. And the roofing to the stadium is quite unique. Here's what it looks like. Here's what the stadium looks like from above. And here's what it looks like at night. Hello everybody, welcome to episode 6 of Stadium Spotlight. This is the show where we look at different and unique stadiums in the show. And today we have 5 different stadiums. You can check the description for the names of each stadium so you can check them out for yourself. If you enjoyed the series and you want more, then please consider liking and subscribing. If you have your own stadium you want me to look at, make sure to put your online ID and the name of the stadium in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check it out. The first stadium we're going to be looking at is Modern Polo Grounds, and this is an XP version of the stadium. So in left field it is 300, to dead center field it is 400, with 403 being the furthest distance in right and left center field, and then down the right field line it is 300. And just like the name implied, is basically just a modernized version of Polo Grounds. I mean, you should know what Polo Grounds is by now. But in the stadium we have 2 decks of seats that wraps all the way around the entire stadium. Kind of gets cut off in center field. It's got the Polo Grounds batter sign. And then behind home plate we have this building, probably just an entrance into the stadium. Looks pretty cool. And we got a jumbotron right behind it. I don't know if that screen will get in the way of the picture. And this is what the outside of the stadium looks like. As you can see, 2 decks of seats all the way around the stadium. And we got 3 different buildings surrounding the stadium as well. And in right and left field we do have a bunch of grass area. The fences might have been just pushed in for XP purposes to get home runs. I don't know if there's any fence layouts that'll push it back. Into dead center field, above the second deck of seats, we do have 2 jumbotrons and a ribbon scoreboard above it. And I don't know if you call the suite level a 3rd deck, but technically we do have 3 decks of seats that wraps around the stadium. Here's what the stadium looks like from above. And here's what it looks like at night. Next stadium we're going to be looking at is Holland Stadium. This is one of the more unique stadiums that I've seen in the show. It looks very original and I love the detail to it. So let's go ahead and check it out. So down the left field line is 384. To dead center field it is 440. 440 or 434 to dead center field. And then down the right field line is 313. So this stadium is definitely a lefty's paradise. 313 down the right field line and 380 and 440 to dead center field. But if you do want to make it a hitter's ballpark, then you might want to change the altitude, because I think it's only at like 280. So fly balls to left field are not going to get out very much. Behind home plate we have 2 decks of seats with some suites in between the bottom deck and the upper deck. And these seats wrap all the way from the left field foul pole to the right field foul pole. Right field, same thing, 2 decks of seats, technically 3. The upper deck in right field continues, but it is a little lower than the one behind home plate. And on the bottom concourse, there are 2 sections of seats that's divided by this bullpen. To the top of these sections, we have a concourse level that connects all the way to center field. And right below the upper deck, we do have another concourse level. And in right center field, we have a standing room only bar area. And we also got some shops and some restaurants on the concourse level. To dead center field, we have the frame slate green base batter sign. As you can see, the second concourse level continues here into left field of a jumbotron right above the batter's eye in the concourse level. Left center field we have some standing room only Really reminds me of the standing room and bar area that you'll see in Miami. On the bottom level, we have a pool. To the left center field, we have a large section of seating. At the top of the section, we do have another concourse level. We have some picnics here. It looks like a play area for some kids. And then down the left field line, we have another bullpen. And here's what the stadium looks like outside. Here's what the stadium looks like from above. And here's what it looks like at night. Next stadium we're going to be looking at is the Moon. This is definitely one of the best Moon stadiums that I have seen in this game. Left field is 330. To dead center field it's 403, with 404 being the furthest distance in right center field. And then down the right field line it is 330. Behind home plate there are 3 decks of seats. And the sections do get smaller the higher up they go. And somebody's fancy to watch out because they are abducting fans from the seats. To right field, we have some space colonies lined up here. I'm guessing that's where all the fans live in between games. To right field, we have this giant rock wall with some advertisements and a jumbotron on it. And to the moon right above it. And into right center field, we got a mini golf course. Center field, we got the frame slates blue base batter's eye. Behind it, we got some rocks and I guess some skyscrapers. I don't know how they got that to space, but we got 2 skyscrapers. To the left center field, we got a giant UFO. And then beyond that, we have a bar and grill. It's kind of hidden in the rocks, but I really like the look of that. Super cool. To left field, we got a floor of rocks. We got some different objects and distances. So obviously down the line 330. We got 400, 450, 500, and 550. Might have to try and hit this one, see if the distances are accurate. To left field, out of play, we got some amusement rides. So we got a giant lighthouse slide and a drop tower. And it's kind of hidden, especially with the color of the rocks. We got a lot of light towers to light up the stadium. And this is what the stadium looks like from the outside. It's so massive I can't get it inside the screen. And above it we do have some asteroids just floating there. This is what the stadium looks like from the outside. And here's what it looks like at night. For our throwback stadium of the episode, we're going to be looking at future D-backs ballpark. And this stadium was created by DarkWolf0077. I'll leave a link to the original video in the description. But down the left field line is 360. To dead center field is 400, with 405 being the furthest distance in left center field. And then down the right field line is 375. So definitely not a hitter's ballpark. As you can see behind home plate, there were 2 main decks of seats, but we do have 3 decks of seats if you count the suites right here and then the ones on top of, I guess, the St. Louis bars. And then we got a floating triangular scoreboard just right of the right field foul pole. And we also got one to the left of the left field foul pole. And on the base of all the seating, we do have a ribbon scoreboard. Right field, again, we get 2 main decks of seats. Against the wall in right field, we do have the NL West Champions, Wildcard, and World Series banners. To dead center field, we got some suites, or business suites, I guess. And then the second deck wraps all the way into left field. For the batter's eye, we got the 2-tiered dark blue batter's eye. To the right of the batter's eye, we got a home run party deck. To the left of it, we got a pool. It's not a D-back stadium without a pool in the outfield. And to the left field, we got 3 decks of seats. This time we actually have a actual third deck, unlike around the stadium where we have maybe like a sliver of a third deck. To the right of the third deck, we have a huge jumbotron. This is what the stadium looks like from the outside. We do have jumbotrons on the glass on each side of the stadium, and the roofing is very unique. You don't see this design that often, but I really like it. This is what the stadium looks like from above, and here's what it looks like at night. For the final stadium of today's episode, we are at Las Vegas Dome and Casino. This is a pretty compact but really unique stadium, and it really gives me the vibe that it's inside a resort and casino that you'll find in Vegas. Down the left field line is 315. To dead center field is 403, with 404 being the furthest distance in left center field. And then down the right field line is 315. Behind home plate there are 2 main decks of seats, but it does have a third deck. You got some suite levels above the second deck, and a lot of concessions on a concourse level. There's not a lot of room for people to walk around, but these people aren't real, so it doesn't really matter. And like I said, this stadium is very compact, so there is like no room between the fence and the upper deck. It kind of reminds me of Miami, how the upper deck basically hangs over the fence in right field. On the bottom level, we have a concourse level and some picnics up against the wall. On the second deck, we have a party section right in the middle, splitting the section into two. And then the third deck connects to the second deck that you'll see behind home plate. That wraps all the way to center field. To center field, we have the stone-walled slate batter's eye. And right above this batter's eye, we do have a little concourse standing room area. And above that, we have the Royals main Jumbotron in center field. Left field, the seats aren't as compact and up against the wall as right field, but they are pretty close. We have a nice standing room in left field, probably just a bar. Behind it, we have a team store and some seating above the team store. And then we have an escalator connecting these seats to the upper deck. We got some more standing room up here and a bar. And we got a giant Jumbotron in left field. In the back wall to the stadium is a hotel and casino. And can't forget to mention the pool in left center field with the words Las Vegas right above it. There is so much going on in the stadium, it is so laggy trying just get out of the stadium. But here's what the outside looks like. Looks like a couple ramps connecting the bottom sections to the upper deck. And the casino and hotel extend well beyond the stadium. Probably what's creating all this lag and creating a shadow are these giant skyscrapers surrounding the stadium. Here's what the stadium looks like from above. And here's what it looks like at night. That's pretty much it for the video today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy this series and you enjoy Stadium Spotlight, then please consider liking and subscribing. That's the best way to tell me that y'all do enjoy this series. And if you have your own stadium you want me to look at, make sure to put your online ID and the name of the stadium in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check it out. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace!